Who's a practice source? Well, your paper person, formerly known as paper boy or paper girl, practices that difficult job every day, no matter what the weather is. Some people still want to have their paper delivered to their apartment or to their home. And they want them at the time of day when they perhaps are going to have a few minutes to have a cup of coffee and skim the headlines. So our paper person, in this case, Jessie, has to get up very early, like 3 a.m., and go out and pick up the papers that are left for her at a designated location, unwrap them, and then make sure everyone is folded so that it can easily be placed on someone's doorstep or in the next to the mailboxes in their apartment. By 5 or so, she can start the circuit, some parts of which she drives to and leaves her car and goes out and walks down the roads or streets, placing papers in boxes that are set up for rural delivery and also going up the stairs to houses. Well, when she gets to the next stack of papers that have left for her, she counts them first, because she is basically, as all paper people are, responsible for every one. It's all now taken into account digitally. So if there's paper missing, it's either the vendor's fault or it's hers, and she has to pay for that. So she doesn't want to lose a nickel. It's too hard already to be up there, out and about it before the sun rises. Well, in this particular stack, she notes for the first time that it's short of paper. Now, someone's not going to get their delivery. So she gets through and delivers them all, but there's one place that's not going to get its paper. Fortunately, she has a paper of her own on her seat of her car. She folds that and gives it to the customer. She's mystified, but she is tired. So the next day, she gets to that same location, counts the papers in the stack. Sure enough, not only is one missing, but you can see under the strings that have tied the stacks that it's loose now. So she goes, this is no coincidence. Something's happening here. So she goes through, takes her own paper, gives it to the last customer. But the next day, she rushes through the first part of her deliveries so she can get to the corner looking up toward her stack for that last segment of the delivery. There was a dark shape emerging, literally emerging between buildings, going up to the stack, bending over, and taking a paper off the stack, looking around. She could see that now, and then scurrying back between two buildings. A thief. I mean, the paper was $3, but still, she had to replace it with her own, now the third time. What can she do? She can't call the police. There's no proof, really. And if she tries to catch this shady character, she might get into trouble. So she does report this to her fleet manager, and he says, well, it happens. If there's any chance that you can speak to this person, don't threaten him, don't yell, just say, sir, or is it a madam? why are you taking these papers? What's going on? This is coming out of my pocket. So the next day, she parks so that she's delivered and then can go up and stand just out of sight from the stack. And out comes that shady figure. And as it gets close, she steps out and says, "Please wait a minute. May I talk to you?" And the person wants to run. She said, "Well, don't run. I'm just a paper person, and I need to understand why you have to take a paper from me every day. I've only been on this route for a week or two, so I don't know how long you've been doing that to the person who worked here before, but this is not good, and I need to know what the reason is." Well, by then the light has come up a bit and the sun has risen to the extent that she can now see the face of this person. And it's not a man. It is a little old lady wearing a dark overcoat and a black hat. And she looks at the paper person, Jessie, and she says, "This paper is for my husband. He has to have his paper every morning. And so but I don't have the money to pay for a subscription anymore. And so I don't want him to be disappointed. So I have to do this. I feel very bad, and I will find some money to pay for the ones that I've taken." And Jessie says, "Well, why can't your husband come out and do this?" And she said, "Well, to tell the truth, my husband passed away 4 weeks ago. But every day he came out and got the paper, brought it in, and it was his favorite thing to do. It was to have his coffee and read the headlines. To me, I miss him so much that I wanted to keep it going. I wanted to bring the paper in, and I wanted to read the headlines to where my husband always sat. It makes me feel closer to him. But I will try to save up the money to get a subscription. In the meantime, you don't have to expect me to take any more." Jessie remembered the loss of her own father, and her heart went out to this woman, and she said, "Well, ma'am, I do have a paper that I use to replace the one you take away. It's the one that they give to me free as part of my compensation. But I'd rather have it be your paper, the one you take off the top of the stack. And please don't feel too bad about this, because I think what you're doing to help yourself with the grief that you feel is quite remarkable and touching." And the lady gripped Jessie's hands with tears in her eyes, and she said, "Well, thank you. I will do this until I've saved up enough money to get a subscription. And on that day, I want to come out and I want to give you a hug." And Jessie said, "That's fine. That'll be our understanding then." About, it must have been over a month later, Jessie arrives at that particular street and comes up to that stack, and she counts and sees every paper is there. She takes strings off and gets ready to fold the papers, and out comes the lady with a big smile, and she said, "Yes, one of those papers is mine now, mine and my husband's paper. I finally found a way to raise the money. I sold some of his old clothes to a concession shop, and they gave me some money for them. So this is my paper in the stack now. I don't have to be a sneaky thief anymore." And Jessie smiled and said, "Well, that's just wonderful." And now the lady said, "Now, you owe me something." "What?" "You owe me a chance to give you a big hug." A while ago, I wrote a book with Stephen Cavallari called Inside Knowledge. In 2025, we still think it resonates. So we've realized a second edition, this time with a new prologue and released exclusively as an ebook. Inside Knowledge follows Dana Gilbert and her time working at the Grand Bay Company and uses her story to highlight the various real-life skills, methods, and characteristics of practitioners at the front lines of organizational life. As conditions change, so must Dana. As you read, you may find you've changed alongside her. Escape into a good story and learn to improve at the same time. Get your copy today, only at mylibrary.world/inside knowledge. Now I'll let you in on a little secret. You can actually get this book at a discount for a limited time. Visit anactionresearch.info and find a special coupon code that you can use at checkout for this ebook. Thanks for listening and considering Inside Knowledge as your next read.